This is the story of Samantha. She wanted a good man, but fell for a bad boy. Please do well to give this video a like, comment your thoughts on the story, and subscribe to this channel. Let's dive into the story. Samantha always thought she knew the kind of man she wanted. A good man. A steady man. Someone calm, polite, professional, the type who wore crisp suits, worked in an office, and made her parents proud. Daniel was exactly that. His shirts were pressed, his shoes polished, his smile steady. He spoke gently, and his plans for the future were safe and clear. Samantha told herself this was what love was supposed to look like. But steady sometimes felt empty. Safe sometimes felt too quiet. The night she first saw Jordan, everything she believed began to shake. The sound of his motorcycle roared down her street, rattling her window. Samantha stepped to the curtain, annoyed at first, then she froze. Jordan pulled off his helmet and shook out long dreadlocks that caught the light. His leather jacket was heavy and worn, tattoos climbing up both arms. He leaned against the bike like he owned the night, a crooked smile playing on his lips. His eyes burned with a kind of confidence she had never seen before. And in that moment, Samantha's heart skipped. He was everything she had sworn she would never want. Wild. Careless. Trouble. But she couldn't look away. That night, she whispered to herself, "This isn't me. I don't want him. I can't." But the next night, when the roar of his engine came again, she was already at the window. At first, she only watched from afar. The window became her hiding place, her guilty secret. She asked about him, followed his social media, scrolling through pictures of him leaning on his bike, laughing with friends, standing shirtless with tattoos stretched across his chest. She saved one picture to her phone before she could stop herself, and stared at it longer than she should. It could have stayed that way. Silent watching, private curiosity, until fate pushed them together. It happened outside the corner store. Samantha turned too quickly, her grocery bag ripping open. Apples rolled into the street, a carton of milk burst across the pavement. She dropped to her knees, fumbling. A tattooed hand reached down, steady, strong. "You almost spilled your whole life on the ground," a voice said. She looked up. Jordan. Up close, he was even more dangerous. His smile was sharp, his eyes daring. I'm sorry," she stammered. "Relax," he said, tossing an apple back into her bag. "No crime in bumping into me." She swallowed. "Do I know you?" "Do you want to?" he asked, head tilted, dreadlocks brushing his cheek. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. He chuckled softly. "Didn't think so. But you remember me now." And just like that, he walked away. Samantha stayed frozen, her chest heaving, milk soaking her shoes. The next few days, she tried to live normally. She went to work. She smiled at Daniel. She folded her clothes, cooked her meals, answered her text. But inside, something restless stirred. Then she saw him again. She nearly bumped into him outside a coffee shop. "You always run into me," Jordan teased, stepping back. "Just unlucky, I guess," she said. "Lucky for me," Jordan said. They ended up inside together. Samantha ordered tea. Jordan didn't order anything. He just leaned on the counter, watching her stir her cup even though she hadn't added sugar. "You always look this neat," he asked, smirking. "Like rules built you." She gave a nervous laugh. "Is that bad?" "It's not bad," he said. Then he left, and she sat staring at her untouched tea, her heart pounding. That night, her phone lit up with a number she didn't know. The tea place. "Good call. You're a tea person." Her breath caught. "How did you get my number?" She typed. "You followed me first." Easy math. Her chest tightened. He was right. She had followed him online, telling herself it meant nothing. "I wasn't," she began to type, but another message came before she could finish. "Relax. You're not the first to look and pretend you didn't." She set the phone down. It buzzed again. "See you around, rude girl." She didn't sleep that night. Daniel remained steady as always. He wore his suit, smiled, and asked her to dinner. "I found a 2-bedroom near the park," he said. "It could be good for us." Samantha forced a smile. That sounds nice. But her mind was elsewhere. That night, Jordan's engine roared below her window. Rain slicked the pavement. He looked up at her, smirked, and lifted 2 fingers in a lazy salute. Her phone buzzed. "Calm down. Just 5 minutes." Her heart pounded. She should have stayed. Instead, she went to meet him. He stood under the awning, rain dripping from his dreadlocks. "You'll catch a cold," she whispered. "I don't catch things," he said. "Except attention." They stood in silence, the storm crashing around them. His eyes burned into hers. "You've got someone, don't you?" "Yes," she breathed. "A suit." She nodded. "And you thought that's what you wanted?" She swallowed. "I did. And now?" Her voice shook. "I don't know." He leaned closer, his voice low. "If you stay here 2 more minutes, I'll kiss you." She should have walked away. She didn't. Jordan kept his word. The kiss was fire, fierce and consuming. Samantha clung to his jacket, every rule she had ever lived by crumbling. When it broke, she gasped, trembling. "This will ruin me." "Then let it," he whispered. After that night, nothing was the same. With Daniel, she smiled politely, went to dinners, and nodded when he talked about their future. With Jordan, she was alive, sneaking through dark alleys, gripping his shoulders on midnight rides, kissing him like she couldn't breathe without it. Every time she left Jordan, she told herself it was the last, but every time, she answers when he calls. The balance couldn't last. One evening, Daniel's hand closed over hers across a candlelit table. "Maybe we should start looking at rings soon," he said warmly. Her chest tightened. "That sounds nice," she replied. But later that same night, she met Jordan by the river. He leaned against the railing, tattoos glinting in the dark. "You look like someone else's girl," he murmured, touching the strap of her dress. "I shouldn't be here," she whispered. "But you are." He kissed her harder this time, and she let him. Daniel planned carefully. A rooftop restaurant. The city glittering below. He wore his navy suit. She wore white. Halfway through the meal, he stood and dropped to one knee, opening a small box. "Samantha," he said, his voice sure, his eyes full of hope. "Will you marry me?" Her chest pounded. She saw his face, kind and steady. But behind it, she saw Jordan's grin, his fire, his voice whispering. The silence stretched. Daniel's eyes searched hers. "Yes," she said. The restaurant clapped. He slid the ring on her finger, kissed her hand, his face glowing with joy. But even as she smiled, her heart screamed another name. Jordan. That night, back in her apartment, she slipped the ring off and set it on the counter. The roar of a motorcycle echoed outside. Her phone buzzed. "Did you say yes?" Her fingers shook as she typed, "I don't know what I said." "Then come tell me the truth," came the reply. She wore the ring back and ran downstairs. Jordan stood under the streetlight. He saw the ring in her hand, took it, and tossed it onto the pavement. Then he pulled her close and kissed her, fierce and unstoppable. When it ended, she whispered, "This will destroy me." "Then let it," he said. The double life shattered after that. Daniel noticed her silences, the way she pulled her hand away too quickly, the way she smiled like it hurt. "Are you happy?" he asked one night. "Yes," she said, but her voice was thin. Her phone buzzed on the counter. His eyes flicked to it. The name lit up the screen. Jordan. Daniel set the mug in his hand down slowly. "A friend." Her eyes filled. "Daniel, You've been lying to me," he said quietly. The late nights. The excuses. It was him. Tears spilled. "I didn't mean to." "But you did," he whispered. "Every choice you made, you meant." He left without slamming the door. That hurt more than if he had shouted. Samantha stood frozen, her words split apart. Later that night, she ran to Jordan. He saw her face and already knew. "He knows," she whispered. Jordan exhaled, eyes shadowed. "Then it's done." "No," she cried. "Nothing's done. I ruined everything." He pulled her into his arms, kissed her like a man who couldn't lose again, and whispered against her lips, "You didn't ruin it. You chose it. You chose me." After Daniel walked out, there was nothing holding Samantha back. She stopped pretending. She stopped trying to balance. She gave herself to Jordan completely. The nights blurred together, rides through empty streets, her arms locked around him, kisses stolen in parking lots and quiet corners, whispers in the dark. With him, she wasn't Daniel's Samantha, the girl who followed rules. With Jordan, she was alive, reckless, unafraid. But fire is never gentle. Jordan grew sharper. If her phone buzzed, he asked, "Who's that?" If she smiled at a stranger, his jaw tightened. If she mentioned Daniel at all, even by accident, his eyes darkened. One night, as they sat on his bike under the bridge, he asked, "You still think about him?" "Sometimes," she admitted. "Don't," he said flatly. It wasn't a request. Samantha's chest tightened, but when he leaned in to kiss her, she let him. The fear tangled with the fire until she couldn't tell them apart. At home, she looked in the mirror. Her hair messy from the ride, her lips trembling, her eyes tired. On her dresser sat the helmet Jordan had given her. In the drawer, the ring Daniel had left behind. 2 worlds. 2 men. 2 versions of herself. And she knew she could never keep both. The shift came slowly, then all at once. At a bar one Friday, Jordan wrapped his arm around her waist like she was territory. When a man brushed past, mumbling sorry, Jordan shoved him back. "Watch where you're going," he snapped. The man raised his hands. "Relax. It was an accident." Jordan's fist clenched, but Samantha grabbed his arm. "Please. Let it go. For a moment, she thought he wouldn't. His eyes burned with the same fire that had drawn her to him. Then he pulled her away roughly, muttering under his breath. On the ride home, she clung to him tighter, not from passion, but from fear. Later that night, smoke curled around him as he sat by her window. "You smiled at him," he said. "It was nothing," she whispered. "You don't look at anyone else. Only me." Her chest tightened. "Jordan." His voice softened suddenly. "I don't have much that's mine. But you're mine." She kissed him, desperate, even as fear spread like a shadow inside her. Weeks passed. Samantha stopped seeing her friends. She ignored Daniel's last message asking for closure. Her life shrunk down to Jordan, his bike, his smoke, his hands, his eyes that never let her go. It should have felt like freedom. Instead, it felt like falling. It was past midnight when her phone rang. "Come outside," Jordan said. She found him under the streetlight, bruised and bleeding, his jacket torn. "What happened?" she whispered. "Nothing I can't handle," he muttered. "That's not nothing." She reached for his hand. He pulled it back. "Don't ask, Sam. Just get on the bike." And she did. They ended up at an abandoned lot. The silence was heavy. "You're scaring me," she said. He looked at her, eyes tired. "I told you I owed things. Tonight was one of them." Her throat tightened. "What did you do?" He smirked faintly. "Something I can't undo. You said I was safe with you." "You are," he said quickly. His hands gripped her shoulders. "But you can't ask questions. If you stay with me, you stay in the dark. And if I don't," she whispered. His voice cracked. "Then I lose the only good thing I've ever had." Her tears fell, but she kissed him anyway. That night, as he slept beside her, Samantha lay awake staring at the ceiling. For the first time, she understood the truth. Jordan wasn't just a bad boy. He was dangerous. And danger doesn't let you go. The change in him became impossible to ignore. He checked shadows before stepping into her apartment. He answered calls in the bathroom. He left without warning, returned with new bruises. One night, someone pounded on her door. 3 heavy knocks that rattled the frame. Jordan pulled her behind him, muscles tense. The knocks came again, then silence. They listened as footsteps faded. Her heart raced. Who was that? He didn't answer. He pressed his forehead to hers and whispered, "I shouldn't have let you love me." The next week, he vanished. No calls, no messages, no engine outside her window. Samantha nearly broke from worry. When he finally appeared, his lip was split, his jacket torn. "You're going to die out there," she cried, cupping his face. He caught her wrist. His eyes burned. "Then let me die with you in my head, not him." She kissed him, sobbing, and he kissed her back like it was the last time. The call came on a stormy night. A voice she didn't know said, "If you're the girl, come to the warehouse by the river." He doesn't have long. Her blood ran cold. She ran through the rain, her chest breaking with every step. Inside the warehouse, Jordan lay on the floor, blood across his shirt, dreadlocks damp, tattoos blurred. "Jordan," she screamed, falling beside him, pressing her hands to the wound. "Stay with me. Please stay with me." His eyes fluttered open. "Sam." Don't talk. You'll be okay. He caught her wrist, his grip weak but sure. No hospitals. No cops. Just you. You can't leave me, she sobbed. He tried to smile. I told you, wolves don't bow. But for you, I wanted to try. Her tears fell onto his chest. Don't say goodbye. His hand slipped from hers. His eyes closed. His chest stilled. The storm raged outside, but inside, Samantha's world went silent. She sat on the cold floor holding him, rocking gently, her sobs echoing against the walls. She remembered the first time she saw him, tattoos in the streetlight, leather jacket, fire in his eyes. The man she swore she'd never want. The man who ruined her and saved her all at once. Now he was gone. Days later, her apartment was too quiet. The helmet Jordan had given her sat on the dresser. In the drawer, the ring Daniel had left behind. 2 symbols. 2 lives. 2 choices. 1 safe. 1 fire. And she had chosen fire. On a quiet evening, she walked to the river. She stared at the water and whispered into the wind, "You were trouble. But you were mine." The wind carried her words away. And Samantha finally understood what it meant to love a bad boy. Not a forever story. Not a safe one. But a fire, bright, beautiful, destructive. A fire that left her with nothing but ashes. I hope you like the story. Please give this video a like, comment your thoughts on the story. Please subscribe to this channel and turn on the post notification bell to be notified when next I post more interesting stories like this one. Thanks for watching.